Hi, I'm Andrew Garcia, and I'm a media producer here at NYX. This is my booth, the AG64. But yeah, the one major part is that it is a lace-to-toe in Wickett and Craig, which we don't do, mostly for cost. It's two-tone, which is another extremely major part, because a lot of people don't like two-tone here. Outside, people love it. I guess it's a love-hate relationship because you have to do it correctly. Because if you do it terribly, then the boot's not going to look good. The way I did it was, I did it based on the pull-up of each leather and found the ones that were similar to it, which led me to double stuffed buck brown on top, which is really dark when it's not pulled, but when it is pretty light. And then the lowers are natural double stuff, which is basically a little bit lighter than this when it's not pulled, but very light when it gets pulled, or for lasting to form it. But they're very similar when you pull both of them back up.
What does your day-to-day look like?
Well, my day-to-day looks like I come in and I look at my to-do list or content calendar for this week, leading to other weeks, and then I just either I go film it or talk to people that are in it to go film, or I start editing, and then it goes on from there. And then if it's like for TikTok or YouTube, I do quote-unquote research, because I look at TikTok, so I kind of know all the trends, but you have to be careful with most because this is a business and not for fun.
How'd you find your way to NYX?
I found my way to NYX from my friend Kelsey. She just texted me one day. She said, "Hey, do you want a media job?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I got interviewed and they hired me. And it's been, what, 6 months now? Yeah, 6 months.
What's the best part of your job?
It's not stressful. It's less stressful than my last job. I mean, there's stressful parts to it, but it's like a good stress. I don't know if anyone knows what that means, but some people do. It's a good stress where you're not dying. It's a little different from what I'm normally used to because it's product photography and video, which is a whole different set of skill other than like person photography or portraiture. Yeah, and I get to learn new things every day with boots and film, really.
What's the hardest part of your job?
The hardest part when I started was learning all the boot names and leathers. I still don't even know half of them. I know the main, like the most popular ones, and making like fun ideas for videos, because such a short demographic of people are in the age range that you have to, like, there's people older than me that I don't know what they like in general. So we can make something for people younger, like in their 20s, but people in their 40s be like, "Oh, what is this? This makes no sense to me." So I guess that's the hard part too, is content that people all enjoy, but obviously not everyone's going to enjoy everything you do.
What's your favorite part about working for NYX?
It's calm. It's a calm environment for me. Everyone's pretty down to earth. We all joke around with each other, which is really good for a workplace, I think. Because I feel like if we didn't, it would be really boring and no one would be here as long as some of these people have. And it's fun learning random things like boot making, because when would you ever just randomly learn about boot making? Unless you work there or you're just really into shoes.
So what's the story behind it? What was your thought process when you ordered it?
I got the idea from a different boot company because they had a really nice two-tone. I was like, "Oh, that looks sick, but I'm going to make it better," because we're NYX and they're not. So I pretty much wrote down on a piece of paper exactly what I wanted my boot to look like. And I originally was going to do the crimson when we first got it, but I was like, I don't wear bright colors like that. Like, I wear very muted colors. So I went with a brown, Took like an hour to figure out what leathers go good together. And then, yeah, and then it got built.
Is there anything that you would change about the boot?
There's quite a few I would change about the boot. First off, I didn't even mean it to be lace to toe. I meant to say lace up, but when I ordered it, I said lace to toe. Which, I mean, happy accident, right?
Yeah, it looks great.
Everyone here likes it.
Yep.
A few people there like it. And then I would do a soft toe, not a little elastic toe. Just because when it finally breaks in, this whole part is gonna break in, and the boot around is gonna like form basically, but then the toe is just still gonna be normal. And it's like, I don't like that. Of course, like others might like that, like their toe to stay nice, but.
All right, what would you tell somebody who's trying to buy their first pair of boots?
Don't overcomplicate it. When I first started here and I was about to get my first pair, everyone's like, just don't even worry about customizing it. Just get a classic configuration, learn your size, learn how a certain leather breaks in and how comfortable it is. So I would do that definitely if it's your first pair ever of Nicks. If you've had other brands, then by all means do a customized pair because you already know your size and how boots break in. Customizing is a little more nerve-wracking, I would say, because it is expensive and you don't want to mess it up at all. And it's hard to imagine what your boot would look like without it being all together. Definitely learn your boots too, the style-wise and sole-wise. Because some boots might look really good in certain soles, and you're like, get it, and they're like, I don't really like it.
What do you think sets handmade boots apart from mass-produced footwear?
Definitely the quality of boot. Because when mass-produced boots they usually do start pretty well made, because they want to push it, and the more well-made they are, the more people start buying them. But when they start getting millions of orders, they're gonna move to machinery making it and cut corners to make the boots faster to make. But here, we don't cut corners such as that. We usually try and make the boot just better to wear, more comfortable. Like Andrew Zamansky with his Delta Arch. He wasn't trying to improve models. He was just like, hey, this more arch support would be nice. And he dreamed that up. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Go buy yourself the AG64 today. One hand or two hands?
I think two.
Two. Go buy the AG64 now. No. Go get yourself the AG64. No, I looked away from the camera. Should I look in the camera?
You don't have to.
Go.
Well, maybe you do have to.
Yeah, I was gonna say.